Now it's time for DIQUE!
All right, man. This is a known thing already, but maybe if you weren't a believer before, you believe it now. But you know who LeBron James is, right, Manny?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Well, there's always been that rumor that DIQUE LeBron James is a flopper. I don't know if you know what flopping is. It's sort of like a theatric.
Yes, like in soccer. Yes, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's almost like forcing the ref's hand to throw a technical. It's so bad. So the biggest guy on the court, the most athletic guy ever to walk on an NBA court, DIQUE was flipped over by a guy half his size in Chris Paul. And if you look at the replay, it didn't look like something I would have been flipped over on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then this guy was just on the floor, like grimacing in pain. He hurt his elbow or shoulder, but I feel like he only ended up on the floor because he allowed himself to be there. Like I feel like any one of us would have stopped ourselves or landed on both feet, or I don't know. So I'm not buying it. LeBron James is a flopper.
Anyway, DIQUE. Luis, Eric Kratz revealed another sign stealing scandal. This time it was the Colorado Rockies.
I can tell you that a team that has been to the World Series often recently, we caught them doing something almost similar. And I can also tell you, because I don't really care, I don't know anybody over there, the Colorado Rockies were doing the exact same thing in 2018. And we caught them, and we played them in the playoffs. In the playoffs, you know how many runs they scored? In a 3-game playoff series in 2018, not many people watched the NLDS. They scored 2 runs in the 9th inning of Game 2. And they used to take a Theragun and bang it on their metal bench.
Originally, DIQUE Kratz said that and I'm a quote, "I can tell you that a team that has been to the World Series often recently, we caught them doing something almost similar." So this was before he called out the Rockies by name. So people were assuming he meant the Dodgers. I mean, who else is a team that's been to the World Series often recently besides the
Not the Yankees for sure.
Well, yeah, not the Yankees, but also that rules out the Astros, who have been to like 2 of the last 5 or something, and
we already know. We already know
about the Astros because he said something almost similar. You would think it's the Dodgers, but he said, you know what? He never specified who. But Manny, this just goes to show that this whole thing was a mess. We're always in the dark, but if the technology is there, teams are going to use it.
Yeah, so it's what we've been saying all along. Like, I find it hard to believe that it's just the Astros that did this. Sorry, man.
So I don't know if you've paid attention to, I don't know what company. I'm going to just say Elon Musk. That's the first name that comes to mind. But they put a microchip in a chimp. He was able to control a video game or something with his mind. I think this is going to be the next big scandal in sports.
A microchip?
Something with the microchip, feeding him signs or feeding him like the next thing. Maybe, I don't know, giving him some in-depth insight into the game. Maybe the microchip alerts him when the pitcher's being extra nervous or something. I don't know.
Technology is too much, man. I don't know.
If the technology is there, people will use it, especially if you're paying them millions of dollars, like incentivized around success. So,
damn,
it's coming, man.
I'm depressed now. All right, here's my last one, man. DIQUE. A's brass, Billy Beane and those guys are visiting Portland and Vegas to seek relocating that team. I've never been to either Vegas or Portland, but I think that if the A's are going to move somewhere, I think they should just move to Vegas, man. Like, you know, destination. The Raiders are there now. Just go. But DIQUE, that's going down. You got any more for us, man?
Yeah, man. All right, man. So we all remember the 2020 season, the crap show that it was between the owners and the players and stuff. So because of that, the MLBPA seeks DIQUE $500 million in damages.
Oh my God.
Against MLB over the shortened 2020 season. So I don't know if this is gonna happen. I doubt it that they're gonna get $500 million in damages because of this. But Manny, like, what are the chances that this goes through and things are resolved? Or doesn't this just set the two parties more apart?
I was just gonna say this. To me, this tells me that work stoppage is like unavoidable. Like there's gonna be something's gonna go. There's gonna be some sort of interruption to the season next year, and that's depressing. So thank you, man. Thanks for.
So I'm 2 for 2 making you depressed because
thanks for bringing
microchips.
us down,
Microchips are allowing for telekinesis or telepathic controls, and there might be a lockout or a holdout or whatever they call it these days, whatever you kids call it these days. But man, here's something else, man. So
wow, another one.
You're familiar with Alex Rodriguez, right?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
cool. So after breaking up with his fiance girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, DIQUE to get back at her, A-Rod launches a makeup line for men.
Okay.
What do you think of that? Have you ever worn makeup?
No,
never.
No, but I know guys that do. I know one guy that does. He's also gay, but yeah, man. No,
right.
Never wore it. Nope.
So I support A-Rod in everything that he does. I'm sure there's a market for this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have put his money into it.
A lot of metrosexuals out
maybe
there.
He's trying to. I mean, this guy does tan a lot, whitens his teeth a lot. Takes care of his body, you know.
Sure does. It's a nice body.
So maybe he's trying to tell us something. I mean, I know he wears makeup to go on screen for sure. Like that's.
Are you? So, just want to preface this by saying that we love everybody, whether you're he, she, they, them, whatever you consider yourself. You are loved here. But are you trying to tell me that maybe DIQUE, Alex Rodriguez, might be a switch hitter potentially?
I think that's what
pitch and catch.
That is what I'm trying to say, Manny. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But that's not what this was about. This was getting back. This was getting back at J-Lo, who's also in the industry of cosmetics.
I'm gonna make a prediction here and say that if he's doing this to compete against J-Lo, that he's gonna lose pretty badly, because I don't think that the people who are in the market for makeup are thinking to themselves, "Oh, Alex Rodriguez makeup, like this is what I need." No, they're gonna go J-Lo. I think if I was in the market for makeup, I'd get the J-Lo brand.
But then again, I don't know. I don't know any makeup for men brands.
No,
you know, and I would imagine that my skin is different from a female skin. Like there has to be some difference. We use different deodorants. We use different soaps. We use different Gillette razors. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's just the market. Maybe it's this guy's the genius that I've always believed him to be, and he's good. But man, this is my last DIQUE. If you would just allow me
another one. Woo!
Who's the mayor of New York City?
That would be Bill de Blasio.
Bill de Blasio calls out Trae Young, aka the HOTLANTA Goblin, for the Hawks.
Is that what they call him for real?
No, I have no idea. I haven't. The first NBA,
but it's effed up.
The first full NBA game that I watched was when the Knicks played the Hawks the other day. Actually, no, that's a lie. The Curry versus Lakers in the play-in. But the Bill de Blasio says to Trae Young,
"Stop hunting for fouls, Trae." I want to quote Steve Nash, one of the great player, great coach. He says, "quote unquote, that's not basketball." Trae, that Hawk's not going to fly in New York City. Come on. Play the game the right way. See if you can win. I think the Knicks are going to teach you a lesson.
Basically, stop being the current NBA that it is today because everybody hunts for fouls. This guy, Rudy Gobert, whatever his name is, the guy that shut down the league last year, flopped, and he wasn't even in the game the other day, trying to draw a technical. So shout out to Trae Young for standing up for himself because from my understanding, the Knicks fan in Madison Square Gardens were yelling profanity at him while the game was going on, and he hit the game-winning shot. So I don't think I said it, but DIQUE stopped hunting for fouls. I don't agree with that.
So it was a great game. As a Knicks fan, I'm super excited. I haven't felt like...
I thought it was kind of sloppy.
Before I fell in love with baseball, I talk about this all the time. Before I fell in love with baseball, basketball was my number one love. I love the Knicks. I love basketball. And then they've been tormenting me for the past 25 years. So baseball's taken over. But anyway, that feeling of that game, those final 5 minutes or so, the anxiety, I haven't felt that since maybe Yankees Red Sox like in 2004 or something like that. It was a good feeling, man. And at the end of the game, all I could do was say that was a good game. Like I can't hate on Trae Young for dominating in that final, in that final stretch of the game there. However, I am concerned about the man's looks a bit. He does somebody posted on Twitter, somebody said that his hair doesn't make sense. And it was what I was thinking the whole time. Like, his hair doesn't make sense. What is it that he looks like? And then somebody put a picture of their armpit hairs. And I'm like, yes, that's it.
Wow.
It just goes in all directions. It looks like it's I can't describe it, man. And I don't want to hate on the guy because of his looks. Like, you look who people,
NBA players do look weird, though, like, on average.
Anthony Davis, right? Like,
yeah, like, he has a unibrow.
So does Trae Young, I notice. Kind of. Maybe
yeah,
not.
You're right, actually. He does have something going on. Yeah, I'm not saying the guy looks good, but
somebody said that he looks like the villain from Ghost, the guy who like robs people and stuff. True, he does.
The HOTLANTA Goblin, man.
That's a good one. All right, man. Thank you for coming to La Bodega, everybody. Follow Luis at Hova Mojo. Follow me at Manigo3. Follow the show at Bodega Baseball. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and check out our YouTube channel. Peace.
Peace.